Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite Chaperone, written by Davies Okimoto. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to give a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. So this short story here by Davies Okimoto is pretty much telling us about this family that moves from Kazakhstan after it seceded from the Soviet Union. Life after that was really tough for people in Kazakhstan. Money, jobs, all of that was really tough. We get introduced within the short story to two kids, right? Nurzin and his sister um, Maya. So basically, they and their parents they moved from Kazakhstan to Seattle. The way that this happens is basically the children they had an aunt. The aunt put an ad or put pictures in a magazine, this dating magazine, and she married somebody from Seattle in the U.S. and she comes to the United States. Then she helps her family get to the United States too. Maya, Nurzin, and their mother and father. So, they moved from Kazakhstan to, the U.S. Life is different for them. So when they come to the U.S., they have to adjust. They have to pretty much adjust to life in America, and it's very weird because the life in Kazakhstan and life in the U.S. are two different things, two very different things, and they have to learn how to fit in. So the mother and father, the father gets a job as a taxi driver. The mother, she cleans houses for people, and so they're immigrants. They're making money. They're doing their best they can to survive, and life is better because their life in Seattle is really great because they can eat. They can go to the kids can go to school. The parents can have jobs and work, and so that's their new life. And so life goes on, and Maya and Nurzin they start to adjust to school life. Maya, her father is okay with her. He's not really a very agreeable man. He's a very tough guy, like a rock. Maya pretty much tells us throughout the short story that her father is really like a rock. And so she tells us of that, and it's really great that within the story that he allows Maya to practice or to be a part of the gymnastics team at school. And so basically, that's what happens. She becomes a part of the gymnastics team. She loves gymnastics. She loves jumping, and she loves pretty much participating in that. And basically, she loves when she goes really high up into the air, and she can basically fly. And she loves when she's that free and she can forget about all of her cares. She can forget about all the things that bother her in life. And so that's pretty interesting, pretty special. So the story goes on, and Maya's starting to get adjusted. There's a boy by the name of Daniel that she likes, and life is going good. She has a good friend by the name of Sharon. Life is good for them. And then ultimately, what happens is Nurzin gets into a fight at school. And in Kazakhstan, supposedly, what they tell us is that within the short story, that in Kazakhstan, if somebody fights somebody in your family or insults somebody in your family, then the whole family, the whole crew has to stand up and pretty much go and defend your honor. It's all out warfare, battle. If you dishonor me, you dishonor my family, and we're all coming after you. So it's a whole clan. That's the method of people in Kazakhstan. That's what we're told within the short story. But in America, it's like you're on your own. If you're a man, you get hit, well, you got to fight your own battles. Your cousins and your uncle from across the way, he's not gonna come to help you. You just got to fight your own battles. So America's different. So Nurzin gets into a fight, and the family can't get involved. You just got to let him be a man. He does get suspended from school, though. He gets suspended from school, him and the other kid. But the thing is, the other kid had to get 2 stitches. So that shows you that Nurzin is the man. He's the man. But he does get punished for that. We do get a little interaction between the father here, um, the father and the daughter here, because what basically happens is we learn that Maya she oftentimes, well, when Nurzin gets into trouble, Maya, when they're called to the principal, when they're called to get the discipline, the explanation for what Nurzin did, Maya tried to, you know, she was the translator because her father didn't speak that well, that much, English that well. And so when she was translating for her father, she, flipped a few words around, switched a few words around to make Nurzin look like he's a good boy that just went to a bad situation. But ultimately, she tells the truth because she got scared that her father was going to figure out that she was translating, but translating through her own means, trying to fix the situation to be in her favor and her brother's favor, to make her brother look less bad to her father, so that he wouldn't get punished too much. So there's a lot of things like that had happened because Maya has to be the primary translator for her mother and father, doctor's appointments, supermarkets, things like that. So we do learn a lot about her life and adjusting in the United States as a person who speaks two different languages and whose parents don't speak that much, and she has to be the translator. So it's a lot that she has to juggle and go through. So the story goes on. Nurzin got into that fight. The family was a little upset. He got punished. All of that goes through. Then we do focus a lot on Maya throughout the rest of the short story. And Maya, she likes Daniel. And one day, her father is picking her up from school, and Maya and Daniel and Sharon and a boy that Sharon liked. They're all playing, giggling and laughing and chuckling, and then the Maya likes Daniel and Sharon likes her man, and then the boys were roughhousing and actually using the girls as weights and playing with them. And the father comes out of nowhere and sees his daughter in the arms of Daniel, and Daniel's just lifting her up on top of his head, and the girls like it, and they're giggling and they're laughing and they're enjoying their time with the guys. And the father comes out of nowhere and is like, tells Maya, get in the car. It's like, if you're a father and you come out of nowhere and you see your daughter giggling and laughing and smiling in the arms of an American man, it's there are a lot of things going through your head. And it was like a very cute and innocent situation. Her crush is playing with her, lifting her up, making her smile. But ultimately, you know, um, she got in trouble, and her parents were very disappointed. And even her mother even said that you shamed this family, you dishonored this family because we found you in the arms of a young man. That's that parental guidance right there. So ultimately, she gets into trouble. But little by little, her parents forgive her, and she gets back into their good graces. The mother, she has an accident. She injures her ankle, and she was in crutches for a while, and so Maya comes in, and she has to go to school, and also do her mother's work, go and clean houses, bathrooms, kitchens, and things like that. And life was tough for a while because she missed. She's a great athlete, so Maya loves athletics, gymnastics. And it was very tough for her because for a period of time she couldn't be in the meet, she couldn't practice, she couldn't join because she had to do both, her schoolwork, be in school, and also pick up her mother's work because her mother was injured and, she couldn't work. And so Maya had to do the work for her mother because, the family needed the money. And so the story goes on and things start to get back to normal. Maya's cooking, she's cleaning, working for the family, doing her schoolwork, and that big situation with the boy, with Maya being in the boy's arms, it starts to die down a little bit. And ultimately, what happens is there's this dance, the Spring Fling. The story actually begins with this flyers or being handed out for the Spring Fling, And Maya was like, no, my dad's never gonna let me go to this dance. But ultimately, here, her brother gets involved, and he's like, maybe I can help you go to this. Maybe I can talk to dad and mom, and maybe I can convince them to let you go to this dance. And Maya doesn't believe him, but she lets him try anyway. And this is really sweet because throughout this work, we see the relationship between Nurzin and Maya. At first, they were just brother and sister. She didn't have any ill will towards him, but we see them get very, very close to the point where they're defending each other. When Nurzin gets into trouble, Maya tries her best to defend her brother, and even mistranslating for her brother to protect her brother from her father. So we see the love that Maya has for her brother, even almost putting herself in trouble to protect her brother. And in the same way, we see here how Nurzin tries to protect his sister. They do love each other. They do try to protect each other as much as they can. And so Nurzin does help his sister out. The Spring Fling, the deal here, and this is like the title of the story. My favorite chaperone. And she's referring to her brother, right? She's referring to her brother because Nurzin gets his father and mother to agree to Maya going to the Spring Fling by saying that he would be the chaperone. He would be the chaperone that he's gonna go to the dance with Maya as a chaperone to keep an eye on her. And the father agrees to this. Nurzin goes to the dance. He finds a chair. He sits and he just watches. And he stays present to watch Maya the whole night. And Maya has a fun time. She goes to the dance, wears pretty dresses. Her mother even gives her a bracelet because this is a bracelet that she had when she was young and a teenager and going out dancing with with a boy and things like that. So her mother does give her a bracelet. She goes to the dance. She meets with Daniel. They dance, slow dance, fast dance, and it's all nice and amazing. And the brother is discreet. Nurzin, he's a little boy, but he does give Maya and Daniel some space to be alone while the dance is going on. So it's a very sweet story. It really ends well to the point where the family they're starting to get adjusted to American life. Um, they're starting to get adjusted to American life and to feel good and speak some English. And Nurzin and Maya, their relationship keeps growing. And the story ends in a good place where the parents are not mad at the kids anymore. Where Daniel and Maya, I guess they're building their relationship by the way the story ends, and Nurzin and Maya also building their relationship as brother and sister, protecting each other and helping each other and defending each other. So it's a really great short story, really great how it ends. There's a lot that happens here. In terms of deeper meaning, in terms of analysis here, um, this is a lot. This short story is a lot. A lot of things happen here. We're talking about immigrants coming from another country to America and adjusting. It's not easy to adjust. It's not easy to speak a different language. It's not easy to find a job. And also, when we're talking about romance and love and things like that, there is this disconnect between the children who speak both English and their native tongue and the parents, because the parents, they view the world as people who are from Kazakhstan, right? They view the world, they see the world as people from there, but their kids see the world as Americans, as uh, I guess what would be the term here? Kazakhstani Americans, Kazakhstani Americans. So, yeah. Um, yeah, so they're both, they speak two languages, but they do understand the social norms of America better than the parents. The parents don't understand the social norms, things like dating and flirting and things like that, and fighting for your honor. So Nurzin's fight is the response that you have to it in America is very different from the response that you have to it in Kazakhstan. And dating, the response that you have to it in America is very different from what you have in Kazakhstan. So the parents, their reactions and the way that things are changing on them, it's different because the way that they were raised, the way that they dated, the way that they fought battles was very different from the kids. But we do see the parents and the children, they're maneuvering and shifting and figuring out ways to coexist as parents and children, um, to live in America, because ultimately one of the deeper, in terms of analysis, or in terms of even deeper meaning here, um, they're alone. They're in a way alone, because they don't know too many people from Kazakhstan that live in America, and so their experiences as Kazakhstani, I'm using this term loosely, but the Kazakhstani Americans here, um, their experience is very special, very individual, and so they only have each other, and they can only get close to one another, and so they have some tough patches, but they do fix everything. Things do get better, and they learn to cope and to adjust to being Americans who are immigrants. So there's a lot to learn. I mean, anybody who's an American immigrant in the United States who have come from another country to America will understand the story quite deeply, because everything changes. Everything from food to where you live to school, education, work, jobs, and especially dating is very different. And there's so many layers to it, because the way that people date in your country and the way that they do in America is very different. So yeah, yeah. And also the one thing within this work is that people are really interested about honor and respect and work. So in Kazakhstan, it seems like respect, honor, shame. These are things that are very intrinsic to their society in Kazakhstan. But in the U.S., respect, honor, and it's not as fundamental. It's not as deep. It's like, you disrespect me, I'm gonna fight you in America. So if you disrespect someone in America, you might get in a fight. You might get shot. But in Kazakhstan, if you disrespect me, you don't just disrespect me. You disrespect my whole family. You disrespect the clan, and we're all coming after you. So it's much more deeper, much more serious in Kazakhstan. So going after someone's daughter, dating someone's daughter, it's much more serious in Kazakhstan. Fighting somebody's family, it's much more serious. That's the idea that you get from this work. That's the social norm that you get from this work about Kazakhstan. So my favorite chaperone here, again, the love between Maya and Nurzan is very, very close, very deep. These two siblings, they're young, they're Americans, and they're also Kazakhstan people, and they understand each other in many ways, and they got each other's backs as siblings, and that's really interesting to see within this work. So that's all I have to say about this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.